Hey, everybody. So I wanted to take a minute to explain what you need to do to complete the conspiracy theory essay check-in assignment here in week 2. Go ahead, take a look there. So if you remember last week in week 1, there was a lesson in the week 1 module called Conspiracy Theory Essay Overview. And in that lesson, I gave you just a brief rundown of what the conspiracy theory essay is and how we're sort of leading up to it here in the first few weeks of the course. Remember, the essay itself won't be assigned until week 5. That is when you will get a better idea of the specific information you will be expected to include in the essay. But in order to give you a head start, I showed you the list of possible conspiracy theories you have to choose from, and that you will be deciding on one of those theories to use for your essay. And that here in week 2, I would be asking you to narrow that list down to at least 2 options. You may already have one, but here in week 2, you need to have it narrowed down to 2 options, right? So here is your list, right? Your conspiracy theory options. I would suggest going back to that overview lesson in week 1 if you need a refresher of sort of what these conspiracy theories are all about and my sort of general advice for choosing your conspiracy theory, right? I'm not going to repeat all of that right now. What I'm going to say is, now that we are in week 2, you need to tell me which 2 conspiracy theories you are considering using for your conspiracy theory essay in week 5, knowing that by the time we get to week 5, you will then need to have determined which one of those 2 you're going to work with, right? So that is what you'll do here. Option 1 is tell me which 2 conspiracy theories you've narrowed it down to. Option 2 is if you have already narrowed it down to 1. If you already know which conspiracy theory you want to work with for your essay in week 5, then tell me that. So you will either be telling me the 2 you've narrowed it down to, or the 1 you have already chosen for sure. This is a text submission assignment. You're not going to upload a file. You're going to type your answer right into the text box, just like you did for the syllabus assignment in week 1. And all you need to tell me is the 2 you've narrowed it down to, 2 conspiracy theories you've narrowed it down to, or the 1 you have already decided on for sure. That's it. Okay? All right. So again, if you have questions, reach out. You can also go back to the overview lesson in week 1 if you need a refresher. But otherwise, just try to have this in here at the end of week 2 so that we are set and you can continue either deciding between the 2 you've narrowed it down to or continuing to learn more about the 1 you have ultimately chosen, so that when we get to week 5, you are ready to hit the ground running. Okay?